What's good, everybody? It's your boy Guak 420 back with another episode of Collective Disconnect. And as you can see from in front of me, we are doing yet another Neca Tmnt movie video. That last video I posted last week is my most viewed video of all time, so it's only right that I do a follow-up and actually show you guys what the Secret of the Ooze VHS 4-pack looks like out of the box, and I'll give you guys a more in-depth review and some more close-ups, and also do a comparison with the 1990 NECA Turtles figures as well. And on top of that, we're also going to be unboxing the Tokka and Rahzar 2-pack. I've heard a lot of good things about this 2-pack. Supposedly it's some of the greatest action figures ever made. So let's see if these figures live up to the hype. And yeah, without further ado, let's get it cracking. So I just want to give you guys a real quick look before we get started with the SOTO review of the 1990 movie Turtles, posed up in all their glory. These are some of the greatest action figures I've ever seen. The best in my collection, probably, for sure. I'm honestly really excited to see how much they can actually improve on these figures from the 4-pack, because these head sculpts are really good. Like I said in the last video, most of the head sculpts look kind of goofy on the SOTO 4-pack, in my opinion. But I know in the movies they're more goofy, I guess. But these turtles right here, I don't think they could be matched personally, but we're going to see in the video if that still holds any truth. But I mean, look at these guys. They're just, the quality is amazing. So yeah, so there's another quick look at the 90s turtles, and let's see how they compare to the counterparts. Alrighty, so here's what everybody came to see. We have all 4 turtles out of the box, and they look pretty good. First up, we have Leonardo, Donatello, Raphael, and Michelangelo. These are the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So we'll start with Leonardo himself. We have the alternate hands on all the turtles right now. So Leonardo has some more open, almost waving type of hands, or they could be karate chopping hands as well. One person commented on my last video that in the Secret of the Ooze movie, they hardly ever use their actual weapons. It was mostly a hand-to-hand combat, so these are kind of fitting for this movie. Other than that opening scene, I think only Donatello actually used his weapon throughout the movie. And then right here we have Donatello fixing his watch. If you remember from the movie, this is the junkyard scene when he says something about this would be the perfect time for them to do the surprise attack. And real quickly, he actually does come with just a normal forearm without the watch, so I thought that's pretty cool to throw in there. But there is a little bitty flap that he's holding right there that covers the watch, so I probably will just keep this on for the time being. And next up we have Raphael, my favorite turtle, giving you guys the bird. I guess this is considered flipping off, right? He only has 3 fingers. So this is my favorite turtle of all time. If you guys want to comment who's your favorite turtle and why, let me know. Next up we have Michelangelo, giving the opposite of the bird. He's giving the thumbs up to all the viewers out there. Probably saying cowabunga as well. So these alternate hands are pretty cool, expression wise. I actually do not know where my other alternate hands are for the actual 1990 movie Turtles. The only thing I have with them right now is their weapons. And each of the turtles in this set come with the exact same gripping hands, or the weapon gripping hands. Alright, so here we have the boys posed up with their weapons. And unfortunately for Mikey, I guess I was a little bit too excited and I ripped off the hands pretty fast, and unfortunately the hinge broke off from his actual hand. Let's see if you can see a closer look at that. I guess I'm giving you guys a little warning, if you guys have these turtles or any figures for that matter, to not just straight up rip the hands out of there as hard as you can. I guess next time, if I do have any stiff joints or hands, heads, I will attempt to heat them up either with hot water or blow dryer. But yeah, that's unfortunate. But let's go ahead and continue with the review. Go back to more positive things. These guys do look really good with their weapons. And I previously said I will keep this on, but I'm kind of rethinking it right now because it doesn't cover it completely, as you can tell. So I might just keep on the stock one for now. And yeah, so let's go ahead and show you guys the accessories real quick, and then we'll move on to the comparisons and some final footage thoughts. Okay, so for accessories, like I said, all 4 turtles come with these stock weapon gripping hands, and then these alternate hands I showed you in the beginning of the video. And next up we have something for Mikey. I initially thought these were just non-posable nunchucks, because as you can see on these are posable with the wire they have in the middle. These are actually from the opening scene of the movie. These are sausage links. I believe he refers to them as combat cold cuts, I think. So yeah, it's actually a really cool accessory to have. So next up we have an accessory for Donatello. I believe it was from the opening scene as well, where he's going back and forth on the clown, and then one of the foot soldiers comes up and he gets this, I guess it's like a water squirter or something like that, and he starts like I guess peppering him like this, like he holds it kind of weird and he starts just hitting him in the head and stuff. So that was a pretty funny scene. So this is also a really cool accessory. Like I said already, like these movie accurate accessories are pretty fun to be included in the pack, and I really regret not picking up the accessory pack as well. I've seen some other reviews so far, and they have some more movie accurate goodies in there that I wish I could have. So next up we do have the fire hydrant from when they spray Tokka and Rahzar's mouth in the Vanilla Ice club scene. And real quick, they also came with its own fire hydrant for the Tokka and Rahzar 2-pack, which I'll get into after this. So that's pretty cool, having just an extra accessory prop for backgrounds or for any other action figures. Next up, we did get a full canister of TGRI OOZE, and then we also got an empty one as well. I had initially said that this was the broken one that turned the turtles into what they are, but this is actually, I guess, one of the empty ones from the lab scene. Would be cool to get a broken one. Maybe I'll do a custom of this and break this in half. But they also did include an extra canister and the Tokka and Rahzar 2-pack as well. So just in case you lose one, there's another one right there as well if you picked up the 2-pack. So these are pretty cool. Alrighty, next up we have the last accessory and the 4-pack. It is the famous pizza box filled with some pizza delivered by Kino himself. I actually did see on the Neca subreddit that they are teasing a Kino action figure with his scooter that he does deliveries with as well. So that's kind of be pretty cool to add him to the collection finally. And on the original 90 Turtles, I think they only came with full slices. And this time around we do have already mostly eaten slices, just the crust. And this is actually the slice of pizza that goes on Raph's side from when they're throwing the pizza around in April's apartment, and he jumps over the couch and catches it with his thigh. So I will be putting this on right now shortly, just so you guys can see what it looks like. Alright, so here we have the boys posed up with their respective accessories. We have Leonardo with the fire hydrant, Donatello with the, I don't know what to call that, water squeegee gun thing, and then we have Raphael after he successfully caught the pizza with his thigh. There's the pizza box right there on the floor, and there's Mikey with his combat cold cuts. So overall, seeing these guys in hand, messing around with them a little bit, all their accessories and the details, I'm actually kind of starting to like the head sculpts. I know in the beginning of the video I was saying they look goofy, but after watching the movie yesterday, I kind of appreciate these head sculpts a little bit more now. They are movie accurate, like I said before. So let's go ahead and get into the comparison real quick, and then bring Tokka and Rahzar out to get a complete Secret of the Ooze experience. We have the group shot right here with the 1990 versus 1991 turtles. For a quick comparison, we have Michelangelo, Secret of the Ooze versus Michelangelo 1990. As you can see, the skin tones are pretty similar. Off the top, I can see that the spots are different. He has smaller spots right here and more smaller freckles on the bottom. Their shells are a drastically different color. If I can focus in, we have, I guess, a more realistic look. Well, I guess, I don't know, I've only owned one turtle before. I remember its belly being yellow like this. I could be wrong, but there's a contrast between yellows. Now the head sculpts on both the Mikeys are in the happy expression, as to be expected by Mikey. And out of these two, I guess I do prefer the new one. It has more expression and more detailed compared to the 90s one. The eyes look a little weird on this one as well. But overall, out of these two, Secret of the Ooze wins for best Michelangelo. Next up, we have Donatello. And off the top, I just want to say, I remember hearing that the 1990 movie was actually more darker and grittier and more serious. I mean, in my opinion, they've always been goofy, but as you can tell just from the figures themselves, most of the turtles, other than Mikey, have serious expressions versus the more playful and expressive face sculpts that these come with. So for Donatello, we do have a smile on his head sculpt versus a really serious looking head sculpt on this one. I do like both of them for sure, and I do wish they might have had a more expressive one for Raph, but all of them, like I said, seem to be more serious, especially Leonardo and Donatello. And well, I'm just noticing that the belt on these are different. His goes up to his chest, and the rest of the turtles here go to their stomachs. I'm gonna go check real quick, but I believe this is movie accurate. I'm not too sure, but I think he was the only one. Oh, I'm talking out of my ass again. His is also on his chest, so I'm gonna go check in a bit to make sure, but I think these are movie accurate for the first movie, and for the second, all of them have it exactly the same. The staffs, I believe, are the exact same sculpt, and I guess this one's just more detailed with this paint, as you can see. I didn't even mention the knee pads. I believe they are the same. Actually, I think they're a little bit smaller for Donatello right here. They appear to be smaller, less bulkier than these. The paint is also lighter as well compared to those. But like I said, though, I think the 90s movie was initially more grittier than this one, even though the movies are only 1 year apart, which is kind of funny. The rest of it is pretty good. I will be showing you guys the back to compare the shells and the paint as well. So next up we have Leonardo with his happy-go-lucky face right there as well. The shells are vastly different, the shading on the sides as well. I didn't notice that for the first two. We have kind of seems more like a lazy attempt at a wash versus it being equal on all the insides of the shell. Like we said, his face is probably the most serious out of the 90s turtles. Raph is showing a bit of his teeth, so that's the only reason why I say his is more serious. He honestly looks pretty freaking badass compared to this funny one right here. But like I said, these SOTO 4-packs turtles look like they jumped out of the actual movie, so there's that. And the weapons appear to be the exact same. Maybe the paint job is slightly better, I believe, lighter brown than the top ones. The sheaths are a bit different, I believe. I noticed on the SOTO one there's a cutout already, I guess, so it could be smoother for the unsheathing and sheathing of the katanas. Oh yeah, the colors of the bandanas are also a little bit different. These are kind of similar. This one appears to be a little bit more vibrant. That could just be the light. Yeah, they kind of do look similar in person. The blues on this one are different. This one's way darker than this one. I do prefer this one, I guess, overall. And as you can see, the straps and the belt are different, like we said earlier. Knee pads a little bit bulkier. The patterns are a little bit different. So the same thing can be said for most of the turtles, paint job wise, but they are the exact same bodies, I believe. So next up we have my favorite turtle of all time, Raphael. As you can see, the head sculpts differ a little bit. I guess they're going for the same thing with the I guess slightly open, gritty mouth. I initially thought this was a smile, kind of so does look like a smile, but compared to this one, I think they both suit Raph, honestly. And like I said, the paint job can be said for all four of them. The size appear to be the exact same. The 90s turtle actually has more of a glossy finish compared to the SOTO with more of a matte finish. Like we said, the shells are different, the knee pads are different, and overall the SOTO 4-pack is growing on me. Like I said, the face sculpts are growing on me. The added paints, this yellow shell does stick out a lot now that I look at both of the figures. So I think I'm gonna go with the SOTO 4-pack as the superior turtles for right now. Articulation seems to be the same, maybe a tiny bit better on the SOTO pack, maybe just because they're newer production wise. But yeah, here was the quick comparison, and we'll go ahead and flip all the turtles backwards so you guys can see the back shells. So for each of the 90s turtles, they appear to have a more green shell, and then for the SOTO they have a more beige and brown shell. So maybe that's actually accurate to how turtles age in real life. I don't know how far apart the time was. I think might have been just a couple days or a couple weeks actually, but in the movie, but it was only a year after the initial movie came out when Secret of the Ooze came out, so I don't think they aged that much. But I do prefer the shells on the SOTO 4-pack, and also I'm noticing the back of the knee pads are actually black for the wrappings on all the SOTO 4-pack compared to the same brown that's on the entire knee pad on the 90s turtles. So that's actually a pretty good contrast, the black and the brown. So I prefer those for sure. So yeah, there's a quick comparison of the back, and I'm saying it again, overall I do prefer the SOTO turtles over the 90s, but these 90s will always have a special place in my heart, seeing as I seen this movie first as a kid, and I got these last year. So these will be the main turtles in my display for now, since I don't have room to display both of them. So that'll be a future video, building a small display for the 90s turtles right there, my little makeshift diorama next to the cartoon TMNT figures right there. Alrighty, so here we have the big baddies themselves, or should I say the big babies, Tokka and Rahzar. They look absolutely stunning out of the packaging. Like I said earlier, this is my first time ever seeing these figures in person, and I mean, look at the detail on the front and back of the figures. Usually only like the front sides of figures are really detailed, but the back has just as much detail, honestly. As you can see right here, all the back of Rahzar's chain is actually real metal chain, which is a nice touch. All of the back of Tokka's spikes, they're actually kind of pointy, kind of spiky, so I'd be careful with that handling wise. I mean, the detail is freaking sick. They look like they just jumped out of the movies, honestly. Everything is pretty much on point. I was looking at some stills from the movie, and I'm pretty sure every like minute detail is on here. You can see they even have like the tire print armor on Rahzar right there, and also comes with his shield from that scene where they bust out at the junkyard. And here's one final spin before I show you guys all the accessories they came with. They honestly came with some really good movie accurate accessories that I'm really hyped about. The first one being the Simply Donuts right here that we have Mikey present to the boys. If you open it up right here, they actually have all the donuts. One of them is actually the donut that Rahzar crushes in his hand. You can see like the slime, the ooze antidote the professor was making for them. Let's see if we can get a closer look. So that's a pretty cool small detail. And then they even have the placement exactly right. When Rahzar grabs the first donut, you can see one of them's missing, and then Tokka grabs the other one. The box is also a basic one-to-one replica. These things are so detailed, it's kind of mind-boggling. So yeah, this is probably my favorite accessory of the 2-pack, just for the movie accuracy, and then especially this crushed donut. Like I said, I will be doing some more recreations of the scenes, so you can see what these figures are capable of. We have a canister from TGRI OOZE that turn these guys into what they are. This also comes in the 4-pack as well. We have the fire hydrant. This is also in the 4-pack as well. This is from the scene where they stick it in their mouths to give them carbon dioxide and speed up the process of them reverting back to their animal form. We have already placed these in their hands. We have the pipe from the scene where they're initially created, and I think Rahzar hits Tokka over the head, or it could be the other way around. And then we have this really cool detailed piece of wood. Off the top of my head, I do not remember what scene this is from, but it is really detailed. This can just be used for a background or any other figures, honestly, in the collection. But as you can see, there are little holes right there. At first I thought they were for the nails, and only 2 of them actually fit perfectly, and I just assumed they were for the nails. But I mean, honestly, I still think they are, but they do not fit perfectly. I tried for about 5 minutes, so I'll just have them like that. And they do come with 6 total interchangeable hands. Those hands are the stock ones that came out of the package. Here we have a more close grip hands for Tokka. We have some close grip hands for Rahzar right there as well. Pretty nice detail on the nails. Here we have more slightly opened hands for both of them. I do have the other open hands already gripping the weapons, just for easier swappability when I want to take out the hands on these and put these on. So yeah, there's that. Extremely detailed, like I said. Neca did not short any paint or detail for these, so that's pretty cool. Alrighty, so that was the review and comparison. I'll leave you guys with some recreations of some scenes from the movie. This is the donut scene where they're trying to feed them some spiked antidote, I guess, from the OOZE. And here we have Michelangelo holding the Simply Donut box, offering Tokka and Rahzar some donuts. Here we have Tokka already eating his, and then we have Rahzar crushing up the donut once he discovers that there is an antidote right there of the OOZE. So this is one of my favorite shots from the movie, and I'm glad I can actually recreate this almost one-to-one with the donut box and the smushed donut. Mikey's like, num nums, you want some num num? And Leonardo hands him his donut, and he's eating it right now. So yeah, this is one of my favorite scenes in the movie, and let's see if we can do some other scenes real quick. Alrighty, right here we have another one of my favorite scenes in the movie. It's not completely accurate because he was sitting, well, they were both sitting down in the scene, and he didn't have his armor yet, but the pipe was provided, so I'm going to go ahead and try to recreate it as best I can. This is when the professor, scientist guy, was telling Shutter that they're not stupid, they're just infants. And then he bumps him on the head and he says, "Oh well, they're stupid infants." So that was kind of one of the funniest scenes in the movie. So here's a makeshift recreation of that. Alright, so for the last scene I'm doing, it was kind of honestly weird to set up. Never really put an action figure on top of another action figure like this, so thank God my girlfriend didn't walk in seeing me do this. But this is the Vanilla Ice Club scene where the boys are forcing the fire extinguisher carbon dioxide into their mouths. And honestly, I totally forgot that they had 2 fire extinguishers in this scene. And one came with the 4-pack and the other came with the 2-pack. So it's kind of fitting if you have both of them to recreate the scene. I don't know who else but me is actually going to be recreating this in their home because it looks kind of weird. But honestly looks pretty good to the actual scene in the movie. And speaking of that Vanilla Ice scene, the Go Ninja Go Ninja Go song, I actually saw that song performed live by Vanilla Ice and the Turtles themselves. So at the end of this I will be putting a clip of that. I'm glad I did see the Turtles and Vanilla Ice perform. It was like a more hip-hop version, I guess, compared to the original from the movie, but I was still really hyped nonetheless. This is a longer video longer than I'm used to, of course. Like I said, that last week's video was my most viewed video of all time in only a week, so it was only right that I put this out as well. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it, enjoyed my dumb review, my half-ass review, and my comparisons. I know other YouTubers and reviewers can do it better, but I appreciate you guys watching. Also, I did see that I do have 50 subscribers now, so thank you to all 50 of you guys. I did not think I'd get there this fast at all this year, if anything. So I appreciate all 50 of you guys, and even the people who aren't subscribed, who are watching and liking the videos. So like I said, thank you guys very much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.